All right, so welcome back. Today in this video, we're going to be continuing our surveying review for the Civil FE exam. And we're going to be looking specifically at coordinate systems. So anything dealing with maybe longitude, latitude, azimuths, bearings, all that stuff is going to be in this section. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So first practice problem says the bearing is south 60 degrees east. Okay. What is the azimuth in degrees? Okay. So key things to note. Or let's first start out by writing out our given information. So we are given the bearing, right? And we are trying to find the azimuth. Okay. So for azimuths and bearings, most people forget these. I have forgotten these multiple times. But the crazy thing is they do not have anything in the handbook. Azimuth. Yeah, when you search azimuth and kind of bearings and stuff like that, that stuff doesn't come up. So you have to remember what they are so that you can get the questions correct. All right, so I'm going to go through what they are, how to somewhat remember them. All right, so let's start. So first I'm going to draw kind of like a y-axis and an x-axis, and you have your coordinate 1, right? This is you have your quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have this would be considered north, this would be considered south, this is west, and this is east. Okay. All right. So for bearings, they always are in reference from the north or south. So anytime you get a bearing and it says, in this particular case, south 60, then that we are referencing 60 degrees from the y coordinate south. So it says the bearing is south 60 east. So I know for a fact that it can only be in this quadrant, right? So does that make sense? That's the southeast quadrant. But it has to be, draw my line in here. This line is going to be 60 degrees from the south. So this is 60 degrees. Okay. So what is that as far as azimuths? So I know that this is how I draw it as far as bearing, all right? What is that as far as azimuths? Okay, so for azimuths, you have azimuth. It goes from 0 to 360 degrees. And it starts here at the north axis. So at this point here, the top, the azimuth is equal to 0. East, the azimuth is equal to 90, right? We went 90 degrees. All right, we're going to continue. So it basically goes clockwise. So you got 90 degrees. Then for south, we got our azimuth. It's going to equal 180, all right? Then at west, our azimuth is going to equal 270. And at north, it's going to be 360 or 0. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So if I know that I am 60 degrees from 180 degrees, right? Then I would just do my azimuth would equal, let me make it closer to the actual line. My azimuth is equal to 180 degrees minus the 60, which in turn is my azimuth is going to be at 120. So it's 120 degrees from this, right, point. All right, so my answer is B. So just some memory that you gotta know that, you know, azimuth always starts at the north, and it circles its way all the way around clockwise. So all right, let's look at number 2. It says if the bearing is S75 west, all right, convert it to azimuth. Okay, so we're given a bearing. We're trying to find the azimuth. Okay. All right. So where do we go from there? Well, we know we need prior knowledge. I will draw this out for us again. I'll go a little bit faster. All right. So I got this. This. All right. And we know we are in north, south, west, and east. Okay. And I also know that my bearing has to be southwest. It has to be 75 degrees from the south. Okay. So when I'm drawing my line, let's make it orange. I know it has to be southwest. I know it needs to be 75 degrees from the south. So this degree is going to be 75 degrees. So if I know that my azimuth is equal to 180 here, then I know I need to add 75 to my azimuth to get the azimuth here. So azimuth is equal to 180 plus 75 degrees. And I'll plug that in. I get my azimuth to be 255 degrees, or D. All right, let's look at number 3. So if the azimuth angle is 150, convert it to bearing. All right, so again, same thing, well, similar things. We are given the azimuth. we are asked to find the bearing this time. All right, we know that this is prior knowledge. And we're going to draw it. This is good practice, so just because you do something once, do it 2, 3, 4 times to make sure that you fully understand the concept. All right. Okay. So I know that this is north, south, west, and east. I know that this is 150, and I know that so I know my azimuth point is equal to 0. Azimuth is equal to 90. Azimuth is equal to 180. Okay. So I know that my azimuth comes before. It doesn't keep going. So I know that I'm going to be in the southeast region, right? So really, I could eliminate north. So I could eliminate B. We know I'm going to be in this region, right? So I'm going to eliminate answers that I can. So can't be B, can't be D. Okay. And so I also know that it is going to be at 150. So draw a line here. AZ is equal to 150 degrees. Okay. And so now we just need to figure out what is happening from south. So what's my angle here? So I'm going to take this angle is going to be my 180 minus 150 equals 30. So it's 30 degrees from south, which lets me know it's going to be S 30 degrees east is equal to my bearing. Okay, so my answer is in fact A. All right, so this concludes our coordinate systems practice problems. In the next section, we're going to be looking at leveling.